Hello everyone, I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. We are back here today to go on with the Victorian Rose Planner. This will be the last or the second to last tutorial. I might do one where I make the cover with you, just so you can see how I make a big cover. I'm just going to go through the pages that I printed now, the pages that are included in the add-on kit. And then I'll tell you the steps for what we're going to do next. So here are some labels that go with the pages. This will also be a good thing to include in your clusters if you haven't made them yet, or if you want to make some more clusters. Here's also the year labels for until the 2029, so you can use it year after year. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with my year labels yet. I think I might use this one on the cover somehow. I think that could look really nice. And then I didn't print, it's the same background pictures that was included in the pages kit, but I didn't print them on all of them. Here are some bookmarks. I think I did print a background page on that one, yes. Some rose fussy cuts. There are 2 pages included of this. I used the one for my clusters. Hold on, I'm going to show you one of my clusters. So I already told you that with my clusters I printed the other page of this on glossy photo paper. I printed it 2 to a page, so that's this. But what I did is I took some clear nail polish and I added it onto the glossy photo paper, so it looks almost resined or like used glossy accents. So this is what I used. You get it at Walmart. I think it's $3 maybe, $3 or $4. And I really like the look that this creates. This is something that I saw from Sarah Lee Armstrong. I will link her video where she has a tutorial on how to make labels like this. And I still need to go and sew my buttons on with the thread, but I just wanted to show you that I will use this in my journal as well, but I'll only use 1 page. And I also printed a background image onto that too. Some big tags. I will not use all of this add-on kit. I will use some, but not too much. Then here is the page tabs for the months and such, like there you see July and January, and then also for the pages like books to read, journal ideas, weight tracker, gift ideas. This one, week 1 and 2 and week 3 and 4, I'm still thinking about that. I want to use them. I did not want to print them out like 20 times or however many times you'd have to, because that means I'll have to print 20 of this page. What I probably can do as well, and I'll think about this, let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do that. I can go and make a page where this one is just everything. It's just multiple ones of this one for however many days you need. But I think what I'm going to do with them is these 2 I will make into hidden paper clips, so they could be removed and added to each day or each week, each month. So that way it's not a million week 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 ones, you just move them. So let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do that. I'm more than happy to do that. I'll just go add it to the Google Drive file, and yeah, that way it would be more simple. Right, next. So this is what I talked about at one point, but I'm not sure if I explained it correctly. These are my to-do lists. I need one for every day. There's not enough space for me to write everything I need to do every day into that tiny block or even into the week pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these out, use a paper clip, and then just attach them to, let me get the page so I can show you more easily. So for instance here, I'm going to cut one of these out and I'll attach it to a paper clip. I'll write the date there for Monday, for everything I need to do Monday, if I need to do more than that little block allows. And that way I can take it out straight away, put on the next one up through Sunday, and then just as it moves on, I'll just add one for each day that, each day that I need a long to-do list for. And then that just saves so much space in the book. So that's just how I'm going to do it. So I left these blank so they could be printed out as many times as you need to. This one has the rose on that I use on the calendar pages as well, the month calendar pages. This one has a little birdie on it, which I think is so adorable. I also use this, I think, in the corner of the calendar ones. This one, I printed these ones onto cardstock, but I think when I print them out again, I might just print them onto paper since their use is temporary. I also didn't print anything on the back because they'll be used once and then thrown away. This one has a little rose on there that I printed on the blank pages. And then here is a blank one that you could do what you want with. I didn't print this out, but I also have a shopping list one in there that, like in the kit, I mean in the Google Drive file, that you can just write, throw away, you know, print out as many times as you like. And then this envelope I'm going to use to store these cards. So that'll be probably in the front of my journal. And then I can just refill it again when I need to. This is just on plain paper, and I did print something on the back as well. Okay, so that is it for now. What I'm going to do now is once again cut everything out. I'm going to ink the edges on my tags. On these tags, I'm also going to punch holes, put in eyelets, put in my ribbons and such. And yes, then I will be back here with you to show you what all I'll be using, and then also to add it to the pages. I went ahead and I put this into the Google Drive file, and I also put in one where it's just week 1, week 2, 24 of them, the amount that you'll need to put on every page if that's what you want. But I also did this one because I have 6 weight tracker pages and 6 important dates pages. So I'm gonna need more of this as well, and I don't want you guys to have to print the whole thing out like 7 times. That would be a lot. So I did that. I still have to cut these out though. I also made some of my ephemera. So this is the envelope that I included in the kit. This is how big it comes out. At the start, when I made the clusters, I said I'm going to keep 1 wax seal. So I just glued it down here at the bottom. That way it just opens like that. And then to take these out, here's all my to-do lists. Not all of them that I will use throughout the year, but these are the ones that I'll just put in there so long and I can keep them in there. And then it just closes again quite easily. There we go. And then I've made some tags as well. So these are the bookmarks. I've fussy cut these out, and then here you can see what I did here. I did all of them except one, so I can do one with you guys. I just put eyelets and grommets through them. So this is hard for me making like altered ephemera because I work so hard on them and I work so long, and I've fallen in love with how they look and I just love it, and then I didn't really want to change it. But this is something new that I'm trying, and I really love how it turned out. It doesn't take away, I feel like it adds, and you can still see the background image. So I just took some old book pages, put it on there with some washi tape and flat back pearls, and then this one I put on top. I also changed this so that the roses would be different from the background, which is also roses, so they're very similar. I'll just go through now and show you how I did these. And another thing I have to say, there's more ephemera in the kit. I just didn't print it all out. My printer's been low on ink. I did get some new ink now, but I just didn't want to print it all out. Yeah, that one. This is also some new washi tape I got for my birthday, no, for Christmas from my parents-in-law. So this page here, this brown one, is from a Hungarian cookbook, a vintage, I think it's from 1956, so I really like that. And then I also printed on the back of these, just so there's something interesting on the back. I went right on the back, so I didn't leave anything for writing space, but I just love how it looks. I don't want it to be plain in the background. I didn't print anything on the backs of the to-do list because they're going to be used once and thrown away, so I also didn't ink the backs, but I did ink the fronts. So what I also really did is I went and I added my month tabs. So I realized afterwards I probably should have waited to do that so I can show you on camera, but I can just explain to you how to do it as well. Here's a budget one. I didn't use the budget page, so this tab's extra for me. I'm just going to pretend this is a month one and then show you how I did it. So what I do first is I take my scoring machine. I don't know if you actually call it a machine. My scorer, not sure. But then I score in the middle. You don't have to use a scoring machine. You can fold it. This cardstock is just thick, so it struggles to fold. And then if you don't have bone folder, you can also just use a ruler if you want to. And then just to make it easier for myself, I also use corner rounder and then a hole punch. I think this is the 1 inch. But before I use those, I will take this. Let me see if I can zoom in a little. Yeah, I'll take this and then I will score along that line there. So just make sure it lines up with whatever line you need. And then you score there. These are only for the month ones. So only if you'll use them, only for the month tabs. And then score on the other side as well. Then just take it, fold down these edges. They need to go inwards, if that makes sense. This will just ensure that the page can still fold easily. You can still open the pages easily. Then what I do is I take my corner rounder and then I just cut that gap out, that white part. Same on the other side. You can cut them out, and I do sometimes. I used to do it more in the past, but I like doing this now because it's quicker and it makes it look a little bit more like a whale tail punch. And then I use the 7mm one and I just round the corners. If these two ends line up, I just put them in at the same time. And then I'll just ink around the edges, and then yeah, this can make so that it folds open easily. So to bring my signatures back, just to show you, so this is January, and then just have to move this up a bit. This way it still folds open there and you can still write in here. And then just bend this back. So it roughly 4 fits in 4 tabs. So that's how I did it for all of mine. Here's May to August. You just can't see it as well because of this one, but I don't mind so much about that. I'm going to put lace on the pages as well. And then September to December. I'm going to do one of these tags with you now. So this one also just has this in the background. So what I do first is I take an old page and then I'm just going to tear it roughly so it just has a rough edge. Then I'll ink along this edge. And if you don't have old book pages like these, you can just print out some of the extra pages in the kit and then just use those. So then what I will do is I'm just going to measure about how far I want it to go in. So I think about, this is a good length. And I'm just going to tear that off. Then I will look about how far inwards it goes, so till about here, I'd say. I'm just going to glue along that edge and some in the middle. And I'm going to flip this and then glue it along this edge, the torn edge. Then just glue it down. Oh man, this is the wrong side. Luckily, I can just take that glue right off. Now for the right side, you just do the same. I may have to cover that in the back, we'll see. Then you just line it up right with the edge. And there you go. I'm going to cut off my excess now. I wonder where's my scissors. Got them. I'm just gonna cut off the extra. All right. So this is the new washi tape I got. I will link it in my description as well. I'm just going to pick one. Gonna go with this one. I really like brown, so I'm going to lay down or put down my glue because I don't trust washi tape to stick, and then just glue over that spot or stick the washi tape on that spot. I'm going to ink around these edges. And then add my flat back pearls onto the washi tape. There we go, another tag created, and it doesn't look too bad on the back. You can faintly see the glue, but as this is just for me, I don't really mind that. So let me get all my ephemera. Yes, here's all my ephemera. What I'm going to do now off camera again is I'm going to cut these out, and then I'm also going to ink them and punch them and those sort of things. I'm going to add them to the specific places in my journal, like important dates with important dates and such. And then I'm also going to add my clusters that we made to my pages. And then I'll be back on camera to make the hidden paper clips. What I also did off camera now is I took some paper clips and I bent them the way I need to, because otherwise they scratch up my pages. and I put some ribbon onto them. I have 6 of those. I'm going to attach all my ephemera like that because I like it to be removable and that I can take it out and put somewhere else. So this next part will be fast forwarded and in silence while I add them to my journal. Let me just show you as well. I've put in all my page tabs as well. It's going to be the journal of a million tabs, but I also added my clusters. I added them mostly to pages that are mostly blank, and I will be doing the same with my ephemera just to add a little bit extra to those pages that need it. There's another one, and then there's another one as well, my 14th for my 14th journal. Okay, here are my pages. I will still be adding lace to them as well, but I might do that off camera too. Let me know if you guys think I do too many things off camera and if you'd like me to do more of it on camera. I just try and make these videos as quick as possible so it doesn't take up too much time. And I just don't want them to be too long. I want you to be able to watch them at a convenient rate, you know, convenient time. So what I'm going to be doing now is I will show you how I'm going to do my hidden paper clips. I also want to show you over here. This one I put in here. So this is the to-do list that I'll be replacing for each day. And then this paper clip, I'll also just move on. Like once I'm done with week 1, I can put my new to-do list in here. And then once I'm done with week 2, I can put the paper clip on here. And so that way it's just the one and it doesn't add too much bulk, because at the end I'm going to take this out in anyway, and then I don't want the book to not be able to close properly anymore, you know. Okay, so I quickly created the one, and this is what it will look like. Week 1 and week 2, and then it can come off and you can just put it on whichever page you want. Now this is by no means the best way to do it, but or the most creative, but it's the only way I could think of. You could also possibly add washi tape on there and there just to add a bit more interest, which I might do, but for now this is perfectly fine for me, so I'm going to make the other one with you now. Okay, so this is everything that you'll need. I have my page tab, a paper clip, 2 pieces of paper, and then you'll also need ink if you're an inker, and then glue. I see I didn't really ink this part well. Okay, so firstly, I have this piece of paper, and it's slightly longer at the back than at the front. I've heard people say that that makes hidden paper clips go easier onto the page. And then I have it slightly wider than my page tab. Then what you need to do, oh, and this one, this I just or a ruler's length off of another color, just so this one will be covering the paper clip. What you need to do then, you need to open this one up, and then I kind of use my page tab to measure, make sure I'm in frame, to measure to where I need to put the glue. So the glue basically needs to come to that line, and that will make our page tab still stick out. So I'm just going to do a line across there. Then I'm going to apply glue there to that whole part there. And then glue that shut. Then I'm going to take a paper punch. You can also just use scissors for this. And then just cut a tiny notch out of there. See, just like that. And that just makes the paper clip go in there more easily. That way it's not like sticking out. Then you're going to take your piece of paper and cover this with glue. Glue it down. Oh, wait. One thing you need to do before, if you do ink, you need to ink your paper. So I'm just going to do that. If you ink, you should have done that before gluing it down. Luckily, mine hadn't adhered properly yet, but if it had, I would have had to start over probably. Sorry about that. I'm also just still figuring out how to do this. It's the first time that I'm doing one like this. And then you're just going to cover the paperclip part. Alright, and then we're going to glue our page tab down onto this. Just make sure it's nicely centered if you like that. I like my things to be centered mostly. I don't always mind if it's not completely centered though. Going to let this glue dry a minute. Then I'm going to cut out along this edge and along this edge. I'm also going to ink in here again to just take out those white edges. All right. I just paused the video when I do that so it doesn't make it longer. So here's our week 3 and week 4. I'm just going to put that in my signature. And what this makes, us gluing that part down, is it just makes that part just sticks out from our page as well. See, so it's not covered by the page. There, and now they're removable and you can take them wherever you want. Also, it would just work fine if you just glue all the page tabs down, but I just prefer that. It would be so many page tabs. Next, we're going to make a writing board. I have this graham cracker box that I just cut the edges off. I think it measures, no, it's roughly 5. Almost 5 1/4, and then I know this one is 7 1/2. So almost 5 1/4 by 7 1/2 inches. And this is just also for the flip out pages so that could just be much easier to write on. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to use my scissors and I am going to scratch up these sides like this. I'm just going to pause the video because that's going to be really loud, but this will also just help it to stick to each other because these things do not stick with normal glue. Something that will also work well for that is sanding them. That will really work well. I can't remember where I put my sanding sheets, so I'm just going to glue these two together now. Oops. I'm just attaching them to each other with clips so that the two parts then pull away from each other as they're drying, while the glue doesn't want to stick to the sticky surface. Next, what you're going to need is 2 pages like this. They measure 4.5 by 7 inches, and then 4 strips of paper of about 1 inch wide. Your strips of paper should be about as long as your board. So now I'm going to apply glue to this side, and then only put the paper about halfway on. This is just to wrap the edges. Same on the other side. Probably applied a little bit too much glue. And then apply glue on this side as well. And then you just flip this over so they can adhere. And then you just do the same on these two sides with these pieces of paper. I'm just using my board itself to rip the pages to the correct size. This might not work with newer book page or with all printables. This is just really old and fragile paper. Next, you'll take your 2 pieces of paper and just glue them onto the blank spaces. I can't remember if I said this earlier, but if you do ink, you need to ink around the edges. There we go. I have some rose gold foil stickers that I'll probably put on here and here just to add something a little bit extra, but I'm not going to do it now because it's upstairs and I don't want to go up now again. I'm going to ink around these edges quickly. Okay, and now we have our writing board. It's a bit wrinkly now because since the glue is still drying, but it'll look better later. Here is the journal itself. I will be adding my lace off camera, but just because I want to really get this video out tonight, and yes. So you will see it in the flip through. Another thing I want to say is on these page tabs, I have these tiny brads, not brads. I have these tiny eyelets that I can't find right now, but they're 2 millimeters and I can't put them in yet because I don't have the punch yet. I still need to buy it and then it'll take a couple days before it's here. But I'm going to put some eyelets into some of these tabs to hang dangles off of, and also ribbons and bows and such. So that is also something I'll do off camera that I won't be able to do with you guys. And yeah, so it's that and the lace that you will see in the flip through, which will be coming this week. Here's our writing board. So this writing board I'm going to put in the back of the cover and then this one in the front. I will still, sorry, the next video won't be the flip through. The next video will be showing you how to make the cover. But this video is quite long enough already. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day or a wonderful evening, depending on when I post this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think. If you crafted along with me, if you did this project with me, will you please join my Facebook group and post it there? I would love to see what you do and what you create. And I hope everyone has a blessed day. God bless. Bye-bye.